So Nvidia and AI stocks look really well today during the middle of the day. In the beginning of the day, didn't look good, but in the middle of the day, it looked good when the news came out. I'm going to talk about that later. But later on, the sentiment crushed us. And I'm going to show you exactly what happened and what to expect. First, I want to go over the news that came out earlier this morning before the news about the investment from Saudi Arabia. As you can see, here are the articles that people were putting out earlier this morning. Nvidia to report Q3 earnings amid investor concerns of AI overbuilding. That was 1 day ago, so we're not really worried about that at the moment. Microsoft and Nvidia to invest in Anthropic as cloud maker commits $30 billion to Azure. Sounds nice. ARM Holdings stock in focus after striking high impact partnership with Nvidia. More good news. What charts say about Nvidia stock heading into earnings? We're going to go over that. And Trump welcomed Saudi Crown Prince to White House. I saw the video. They get out the car, all smiles. So once that happened, it seemed like the market saw them smiling and they were also buying shares because some good news could be on the horizon. And then we have Trump announce he has agreed to sell Saudi's F-35 fighter jets, despite some concerns within the administration that the sale could lead to China gaining access to U.S. technology behind the advanced weapon system. So it's kind of like a 50-50 thing. I'm not sure that's good or not, but I'm not too worried about that for this video because we're talking about AI and tech and what's going to happen next. So Saudi Arabia announced it will increase its pledge to invest nearly $1 trillion in the United States. That's big. That's a lot of money, $1 trillion, raising it from a previous commitment of $600 billion. Now here's the important part. The new investment plan, which involves both public and private sectors, will be made in areas like energy, technology, and other sectors, and is a continuation of previous agreements and ongoing economic partnership. So public and private sector. So that's really good. Energy and technology. So we don't know what company is going to benefit the most, but seeing that it's going to involve public and private sectors is pretty good news to hear. But it's not over yet. President Trump is hosting a formal dinner tonight, November 18th, at the White House for Saudi Crown Prince. The dinner is part of the Crown Prince visit and is the first formal dinner hosted by the current administration to honor a national leader. The dinner is part of a broader visit to strengthen U.S.-Saudi ties, with discussion expected to cover security ties, civil, nuclear cooperation, and business deals. So business deals is going to be key for us, right? And I'm also hearing that some other top executives from the U.S. and possibly Elon Musk will be there as well. Now here we go for Nvidia stock. It's down 3 weeks, right? 3 red candles. The first red candle was a big red candle. The second one is pretty big too, but the third one is getting kind of smaller. The doji candle right at the bottom. Could be reversal here. That's what we're looking for. Daily chart, Nvidia is in a downtrend, but the past 3 days, including today, were green candles. So it means buyers are starting to get back in the market for Nvidia, possibly for the earnings. What we want to do is break that 184, 185. If that happens today, tomorrow will be pretty good for Nvidia. And here's the hourly chart. Once that news dropped about the investment, this green hourly candle overtook the previous 4 candles, which is a bullish sign for Nvidia. Now let's look at the SPY chart. At 11 o'clock, some data reports were released, and it started to go up from that, really. And then it consolidated, then it came down. Then news about the investment came out, and then it went up again. So now we're seeing some resistance around the 664 area. So we could possibly drop it down a little bit. If we do, we're talking about the 663.02 or possibly the 661. Hopefully not, because we have some good news going on. We shouldn't be dropping that much. Now let's look at the exciting part. The resistance I'm looking at for SPY is going to be right here at the 665 area, right here, and we're almost there. Hopefully we can get there before market close. We still got some time. It's 1:30 Eastern over here, so we still have some time to break that 664 or 665. Next resistance is going to be right here at the 667.50. I put 667.49, but same thing, only 1 penny difference. Now if we can break those two, then we're definitely going to be on our way back to the 672 area, and that's where things get interesting. For that to happen, I think Nvidia is going to have some good earnings and maybe some really good news from tonight from the White House dinner. But that's going to be hard to break that 678 area. But the first thing first we need to do is break that 665 and then at 667.50. If we can do that, we're getting back on track to go back up again. And this is what I've been saying on previous videos. If we're not going to get any big investments or some kind of huge news, and if the Nvidia earnings is not good, yeah, the stock market is going to start to trend down. But if we start getting huge news, huge investments, Nvidia earnings is good, and the data reports aren't that bad, we're going to start to trend back up again. I made that video earlier, and I was going to post it, but when the stock market started to decline, I decided not to post it, and I said, you know what, instead, I'm going to do an update on where AI, tech, and Nvidia stands. And here we go. So now, we're on a weekly chart, 3 weeks red, but the good thing about this is that we do have support right here, 179.94. It's cutting it kind of close. That's the thing. After hours, we're at 180.92 area, and the support is at 179.94. That's real close. So just because it's so close, I'm going to draw one more support line just in case something happens that we don't want to happen, right? Next support is going to be at 176.59. So that's a little bit more space. I'll leave it at that. That's about $3 to $4 that we have room to go down some if it does happen. Now resistance, we have to look at the hourly chart for that. And the resistance is going to be at the 182.56. Then another one is going to be at the 183.58. So that's where we are for Nvidia. And the earnings is tomorrow. So let's hope things get better pre-market or after hours. But I was very surprised because we had a lot of good news. But now the sentiment is taking over. The negative sentiment in the market, data numbers, economy, and that the AI bubble may be happening and that stocks are overbought is really taking a toll on the market, even with good news. It's how it is. Let me also give you a possible outcome if Nvidia has good earnings. So right now we're at 180.88. So if we have good earnings, I'm thinking it can move about maybe $7 to $10. And if that happens, I see resistance at 187.30, and another one is going to be at 190.79 area. Now, if the earnings is bad, then we're talking about the 196 or the 170.41 area. So that's what we're looking at. If the earnings are good, 187.30, 190.79. Earnings are bad, 176.59 or 170.41. So yeah, I hope that wasn't too sad, but that's just how the stock market is. 1 minute you're up, 1 minute you're down. It's good for day traders, but for people who have a lot of shares and are holding, it can be a headache. But, long term, a lot of times stocks will just keep going up at some point. Because if you are holding a stock long term, that's how most people got rich from the stock market. Holding for 5, 10 years, maybe 20 years. But 20 years is kind of a long time, but maybe 5 to 10, that's good. But you buy low and you hold it, if it's good company. People who bought Amazon early, Walmart early, Nvidia early, Tesla, Netflix, I go on and on and on. They all made good money, probably millionaires by now. So in the long run, stock market is going to be good through the ups and downs. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe. The more subscribers I get, likes I get, comments I get, the more videos I'll make. Take care.